Snatched by Kat. Shout out to her. Shout out to the whole squad. The Curtis Park team. The inspiration behind it, it was when I was working for the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute, a nonprofit that helps people who lose their loved ones to homicide. I was actually filling out a diagram that spoke about privileges, and it was supposed to be a diagram that shows you that you aren't really supposed to earn privileges, but you're kind of born with them. But I realized, like, oh, I actually earned a lot of privileges for myself. And so I enjoyed that concept, and I was just interested in, like, playing off of that, and, like, privileges, the lack of privileges, showing also it's just a privilege to be alive. So.
Great, thank you.
Hello, my name is Irene Smalls, and my film was Nite Baby Nite. And the inspiration for Nite Baby Nite was some research that I found that children develop their self-image between 0 and 5. And I was very concerned about what kind of self-images Black boys develop from a very young age. That the idea of giving them affirmations, giving them support, that a lot of the negativity can be imposed at an older age if they don't have a strong psychological and emotional foundation. And again, working in the school system for about 25 years, I find that there aren't any things in place to be concerned about the psychological well-being of Black children. That they see the weed, they see the women, but that's not, who Black people are as a people, and that's not where we came from. And so I was interested in creating a piece, Nite Baby Nite, an affirmation, as a foundation for Black positivity and Black boys feeling good about themselves and understanding that they're, as the poem says, melanin masters of the world. Thank you.
Thank you. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. My name is Mindy Freed, and I'm the producer of Open Your Heart, and this is
The director, Jessie Epstein.
Jessie Epstein, and Monica Cohen is also here, who's an editor on the film. Thank you.
There's quite a few people who were in the film.
Yeah. Could you please stand up? So I run a small nonprofit organization called Hoopla Productions, and I reached out to Zoomix, which is a youth nonprofit, basically kind of a youth leadership nonprofit in East Boston, to see if they wanted to partner with me on this project. Where I was coming from was as somebody who's a second generation immigrant, and having seen my Hungarian parents, grandparents struggle and kind of go what they went through in life, as Jews persecuted and looking for a better life and so on. And I was very aware of just the world of immigrants in this country. And currently the political landscape is just so, towards all BIPOC folks, including immigrants, it's just so toxic. And so for the past few years, I've been working on immigrant stories coming out in these kind of events. But when I contacted Zoomix, I said, well, how about if we partner on a year-long project where we train young people in interviewing skills, sound design, audio editing, and theater. And we brought in people with all these backgrounds to work with the young folks. And they went out, there they are, some of them, went out and interviewed 7 immigrant activists in East Boston. People were really committed to making a change in their community. And then, as I said in the film, I sort of put together a structure of a play, and then we worked all together with a theater director named Vincent Siders. I don't know if you know him. He's performed here. He's amazing, Vincent, yeah. Right? So Vincent was very much, he was the artistic director for the project. And we really shaped a play that worked for the young people, and told the stories, and and then I was able to hire some actual Latinx immigrant actors, professional actors who worked with the young people. And so A friend of mine said to me, we had Jesse who came and did some of the filmmaking when we put on this performance at City Hall Plaza. It was actually a year ago, last June. And a friend of mine said to me, well, if you're only going to do this one night, you need to document it. So that started the inspiration for creating this thing. And I think ultimately what we wanted to be able to do is, through the eyes of young people, show what the stories of immigrants were in the city of Boston and how meaningful and important they were, and particularly activists who were working to make a change in this current political climate.
Yeah, thank you.
Just very quickly, I used to teach filmmaking at Zumix, and I grew up in East Boston. And when I went to actually go film this at the restaurant that you see, actually that was the block that I grew up on. So there's a lot of full circles, and it was also amazing to have young people from Zumix as part of the camera crew, which was exciting. So it's just a joy to be part of this.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kat Odechair. I was director and co-executive producer for Privilege Pack, the movie. And we have some of the crew members here. We have
Adam Schickling, Director of Photography.
Michael Cook, first AC and gaffer.
Noel Pichardo, or Leon as I like to go by, and I was gripping, kind of doing a lot of stuff on that, but mostly gripping.
Yeah, and I think we have like about 14 total crew members. They all couldn't make it, but we started filming in 2021, and we came together, did not know each other, did not have a working relationship at all, so we were just winging it as young, aspiring filmmakers. So just go after your dreams, y'all.
Thank you. Thank you. So we don't have a lot of time for Q&A, so I really just want to throw it out to the audience if anyone has any question for these folks. I know the filmmaker from Homage to a Boss couldn't come tonight, or maybe he was here, Federico, but his film, Homage to a Boss, is part of a larger film that he has been screening around Cambridge and Boston. It's called One Day, I think it's something like that. So if you see something like that, it's part of his film. So does anyone have any questions from the audience for these filmmakers?
While you do that, Lisa, I just wanted to make one mention, as I was the writer, the director, and the editor. And I did the film all by myself based on 2 Apple iMovie classes. So it was a fun experience, and I learned a lot.
Irene. I'm so sorry I got here late. Rain was pouring and I was not prepared, but I knew I was coming anyway. I got soaking wet from top to bottom, but I love this part. I was here earlier to see the great, legendary Paul Laurence Dunbar movie, and that was incredible. I was so inspired and I learned so much that I never would have known about had it not been for the Roxbury Film Festival, Lisa Simmons and her great team here. So, but for you, I was thinking, like, for the children, this is so awesome to see after children are coming out of being traumatized by the COVID pandemic and all of that happening in isolation and oppression, depression, you name it, they went through it. And our children are just starting to feel like normal again. But I commend you with this film that are being shown. I missed it, but I'm getting a package, so not to worry. I'm going to see everything.
I appreciate that. And
But all of you have done an amazing, just to say, an amazing work around this, because the more we show children that yes, you can, the more they can raise up and think, oh yes, I got this. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I just wanted to respond to you is that Paul Laurence Dunbar wrote a poem called Little Brown Baby with the Sparkling Eyes, and the 1940s. And so an affirmation, Nite Baby Nite, was really a through line, because when I went to school under segregation, they taught Black history, and they taught Paul Laurence Dunbar. And Little Brown Baby with the Sparkling Eyes, whose daddy's partner and mama's joy, Little Brown Baby with the Sparkling Eyes, was one of the things that I've always remembered. So thank you for mentioning that, because he is one of my heroes in life.
Thank
loving
you,
Black
Irene.
children.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions?
To the director of East Boston, when you said the neighborhood has been gentrificated and changing, now what would be, as far as what do you see for the future? Because when I went to, from the first to the sixth grade in to Donald McKay in East Boston, it was 99% Italian, from 66 to 73. So, and then just the influx in other neighborhoods being gentrified and everything. Because when I was growing up, the seaport was an isolated area. So, or where the mafia junk bodies.
Now, we don't know that for sure.
Yeah. Was that a comment or a question?
It's a comment.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh,
I have a question for Mr. Anthony Thomas for Privilege Pack. Just looking at the film, amazing job, amazing work, extremely proud of you. But also just looking at some of the moments that I actually were a part of. So I'm looking at that, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, wow, this was really meticulous. Like this guy really put a lot of thought into it. So I'm just wondering, how much of the structure of the movie did you actually put in place? Or is this something that just came along as you went through it?
That was a deep question. I feel like I could speak a lot about that entire process, but as you mentioned, the film is autobiographical. There is some non-fiction, some fiction in there, but I would say that I wanted to weave my life experiences in there. Also weave some of our iconic people that we've looked up to. Like, I don't know if you noticed that there's like a Martin reference in there, thin line between love and hate. So like, in interesting ways, weaved in some of the inspirations, some of the artists that I find really inspirational, also real life experiences, and not just show a struggle story, show like a winner story, and so that was just important to show it, as somebody who has experience winning with me. Great question, I appreciate you, brother. And Deshaun, I played high school basketball with Deshaun. We played at Cathedral High School. We also won the state championship together. We were co-captains, so I appreciate his love and support. And like, that was, is it 20 years ago now? Jeez, almost 20 years ago now, so.
Hi, I'm Megan. I'm so impressed by all the filmmakers, so thank you for sharing your art. And I'm venturing into this myself, and I'm wondering, what is one thing you wish you had budgeted more for in your films, and that you wish you had saved a little more for, or put a little more into? Because I'm doing my budget, so I'm budget-minded right now. Thank you.
I was gonna give you a bad answer and say everything, but I'll just pass the mic.
budgets are key.
I could just say one thing, make sure you do not skip on sound. Like, get a really good sound person, because that's always the afterthought, and it makes such a difference.
And I would say lighting. Yes.
Food, water,
Food.
food and water. People will, I don't want to say
The better
work for
the
free.
crafty, the happier the
Yes.
staff. And that's the best way to do it.
Craft service.
Food.
All right, I think we're gonna have to wrap up, but I have a question for these folks here. And I'd love for you to stand up, because you were involved in the film, and I would like you to go up to the stage, because you are filmmakers as well. And it's really important that we are constantly supporting our youth and constantly helping them create their own stories and be a part of it, because you are our future, and you're gonna document our future and your future. So I just want you to just say one or two things really quickly about your experience in doing this work, and thank you for the work.
Okay, hi, my name is Samantha. I was one of the actors representing Ryan. Well, at least for me, I came late in the process. The script was already made. There was a couple tweaks that they were doing. Yeah, it really came late. But it was a really great experience because I was looking for things to do in the summer, and then this project came out, and I've been with FILMMAKERS like whole year, basically since I came to this country at 13. So I've been doing like so many things with them too, and then I heard about this project with theater related too. So I was like, I wanna be in, and just went there. I even invited my little sister too for a couple of the days too. She was part of it. La Cincuenava, which is one part of the thing that didn't appear, but it's just something in my memory. It's amazing just to work with immigrant stories, knowing that there's so many things that I can relate and maybe I didn't experience, but I'm like, this is part of the immigrant story. This is a part of a minority group, but we don't realize that there's a bunch of us. There's a bunch of us that needs the stories to be told, needs recognition, needs to, know our stories and then make something in the world to change, at least. So be aware of everything. And I'm glad I'm working with them.
My name is Robin. I was one of the actors as well. I played Luce, and it was very important for me to be part of this because at my school there are not many Hispanics, and I'm one of very few, and being able to work with other people who are from the same culture, it was very special. So, yeah. Oh, okay.
Thank all of the standing ovation, whatever, for these incredible films.